All right, let's talk about something huge. That dream of turning one amazing idea into a 10,000-piece NFT collection. You might think that's something that requires a ton of coding and super complex tech, but we're going to break down how you can actually pull it off. Let's dive right in.
So, does this feel familiar? You've got this incredible vision. You've got the characters, the style, the whole vibe. But then the tech side hits you like a ton of bricks, right? The thought of generating thousands of unique combinations, it just feels like this giant, impossible wall to climb.
Well, what if I told you that you could have your own personal digital factory? One that does all of that heavy lifting for you, right from your web browser. That's exactly the kind of thing we're looking at today with a tool called MakeNFT.ai.
So here's our game plan. We're going to look at how the engine actually works. Then we'll get into prepping your art, super important, assembling all the layers, hitting the big button to generate your masterpieces, and finally, unboxing the whole collection. Okay, first things first. Let's pop the hood on this thing and see what really makes this digital factory tick. You know, how does it take just a handful of your art files and magically turn them into thousands of one-of-a-kind creations?
The real magic here is just how simple it is. You bring the ingredients, right? Your artwork, all split up into different layers. Think backgrounds, bodies, accessories. Then you get to decide how rare each of those things are. And once you've done that, a super powerful algorithm does all the mixing and matching for you, creating thousands of unique combinations without you ever having to touch a single line of code.
All right, let's move on to what is, and I'm not kidding, probably the most important step of this entire process. You know, just like an artist preps their canvas before painting, getting your digital art ready is the absolute foundation for a perfect collection. Think of these as the 5 golden rules. First, every single image has to be the exact same size so they all line up perfectly. Second, you've got to use transparent PNGs so they can stack on top of each other cleanly. Third, get everything organized into folders. Fourth, and this is a total pro tip, number those folders to control exactly how the layers stack up. And finally, trust me on this. Always test with a small batch first. It'll save you so much headache later.
And here's exactly what that numbering system looks like in practice. See how simple this is? Your folder named 1_background goes down first. Then 2_body sits right on top of that. And 3_accessories is that final touch. It's just a really clean, simple way to make sure your art gets put together exactly the way you want it to.
So our art is prepped, it's organized, it's ready to go. Now for the really fun part, uploading everything and actually starting to assemble the different pieces of our collection right inside the tool. Now this is where it gets really cool, because you've got options. You've got your regular layers. Those are going to be the bread and butter of your collection, but you can also throw in animated layers, like GIFs, to really make some pieces pop. And for that extra wow factor, you can create these one-of-a-kind legendary NFTs that are totally unique and stand out from the rest. And what about making sure that really cool hat or that rare background doesn't show up all the time? Well, you've got 2 super easy ways to control that. You can either set the rarity right in the file name itself, or you can just upload everything and then tweak the percentages right inside the app. You have total control. All right, deep breath. The ingredients are in, the recipe is all set. It's time to fire up the big machine and actually generate our masterpieces. Before you hit that big go button, you just need to lock in a few final details. You know, your collection's name and its story, how you want each NFT to be numbered, what image format you want, and of course, how many you're going to make. And check this out. Based on all the layers you've uploaded, the tool will actually show you the absolute maximum number of unique combinations that are even possible. And a lot of the time, that number is in the millions, which just shows you the insane power of generative art. But wait, what happens if something goes wrong? You hit generate and an error message pops up. Okay, first off, don't panic. This can happen, especially with really big or complex collections, but there are some pretty simple fixes. Usually the fix is pretty straightforward. You could try just generating a smaller number first, or maybe simplify your layers a little bit. Sometimes your computer's own processing power is a factor, so using a more powerful machine can help. And hey, it never hurts to just double-check that all your image files are valid and not corrupted. Okay, once you're ready, you click Generate, and you wait for the magic to happen. But listen up, because this is the most important piece of advice in this entire thing. The whole process happens right there in your browser. For your privacy, nothing is saved to a server. That means you have to download the zip file as soon as it's ready. If you close that tab or navigate away without downloading your entire collection, it's gone. Poof. Forever. Whew! Okay, you've downloaded the zip file.
The hard work is done. The generation is complete. Now it is time to open up that treasure chest and see exactly what you've created.
So what's inside that one file? It's literally everything you need to go live. You get all of your final images, of course, but you also get the individual metadata files. That's the data that describes what's unique about each NFT, and even a spreadsheet so you can analyze all your Rarity data. It's the whole shebang, totally ready to mint.
And to wrap this up on the most empowering note possible, let's be crystal clear about who owns this amazing collection you just made. This platform is a tool, not a partner. You retain all commercial rights to your artwork. It's your vision, it's your creation, it's your property, period.
So there you have it, the complete roadmap from just a spark of an idea all the way to a 10,000-piece collection. You've seen how the engine works, you've got the step-by-step process, so the only real question left is, what masterpiece are you going to create?